Going to item number 1.
Affordable housing.
I can see it.
Yeah, but I want you to be able to respond.
Take one of each of those, I think that's right.
Yeah, there's 2 papers there.
Affordable housing.
Okay, what I did this first paper, and I hope I understood, or we understood what the report. I thought you wanted to report what affordable housing has been doing with the money we have, representing the county, and that represents also the cities because they are in a position sometimes to put money into it. And this first page, it says Wasatch County Housing Authority projects. This is a paper I put together several years ago, and it's got some other information on the back that kind of repeats what's on here. And I took this paper to Mr. Bradshaw the other day and said, would you go through and give me some information on the exact numbers? He's got access to the numbers. So let's look at that one first, and then we'll come back and go through these different projects. Rick is the chairman of the Affordable Housing Board, and so hopefully he'll respond where I get it wrong, or to add to. No, he's here.
No, right there.
We asked Mr. Bradshaw to come and report on this, and then of course Rick and I would contribute, but his wife had surgery this afternoon, so he asked if he could be excused. And so yeah, give us the numbers and we'll look at it. So what this is, this loans, this is 2002 to present. On our down payment assistance loans, we have a loan amount out of $1,364,286.84. That covers 168 loans that are there. Paid off loans over the years since I guess since 2002. We've had 82. There's 86 outstanding loans. I asked Jeff if he could remember, and as he and I talked about it, maybe Rick, you can remember, out of those 168 loans, I think we've only had one default, haven't we?
Right.
And one of them was the bank. Of course, we're in second position when we make that down payment assistance loan. One here a while ago in one of the Wasatch Commons, not Wasatch Commons, the ones
Down by the senior center.
yeah, by the senior center, those over there. The person defaulted, the bank offered us piddling amount, and what we did is we bought the loan out, and then turned around and sold it. And pretty well broke even on it. We did pretty good. I mean, we didn't totally, but
That was the only one we did that.
yeah, and we've only done that one. So I think the down payment assistance loan program has been very effective. If you look at that, 168 homes, we've helped 168 families to get into a home that otherwise they couldn't afford. The idea is we'll loan out to $20,000. If it's in the Russ Watts development there, it could be up to 46,000, but the rest are up to 20,000, and it's just based on what they need. Most of them we've done the last year or two have been 5,000.
There's a percentage of it.
Yeah, it's just whatever the thing, and it gives them that extra little bit to bump over. They can't qualify for enough in the first mortgage. They need just that little bit more. They're required to put down a certain percentage.
What are the criteria to be eligible to do that?
Well, I can get you a copy of the application. We don't have that, but they've got it. They have to put down a certain amount themselves. They have to, there's an income range and so forth. So we have an application, and we've revised that a little bit over the years to make sure that it does what it needs to.
I got a question on that. On affordable housing, I think there's 2 areas there. There's one, we create a project that invites people to come from outside the area. The other is assisting those that are already here, such as law enforcement or school teachers or things like that. So I'm just curious, out of the 168, were most of those created and people came to the area because it was affordable? Or did we help out law enforcement?
A couple of years ago, we had in our down payment assistance loan, we had a criteria, and they actually got a little bit of preference. I don't remember what all, but we called it our essential employees. And that included our public works, our teachers, our police officers, people who were providing essential services to the community. And we really went out to them, and we probably saturated. I mean, I think in that year, it was a couple of years ago, we probably did 15 or 20 during the year. We hit a lot of people in that essential market. It's still there, but we haven't seen that many. We've only seen a couple this year.
Sheriff, have you had any of your deputies or any employees that have utilized this plan to help them?
I believe there have been several that have looked into it. I believe they lean more into the self-help program, like what they do in Suffolk County,
And we'll talk about that
Kansas
in a minute.
area. They work on a lot of different homes, I guess is how they do it.
Create their own equity.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the two things that we build units and we provide it, or we provide a way for people to get in them. And we haven't, as of yet, we haven't been in the position of wanting to be where we're going out and building and then getting people to come and fill them. That's what Mountain Man does some. Scott Lewis's group, they'll go out, but we haven't done a lot of that. We have in a few small areas, but we don't have the staff or whatever to do that. But anyway, so
Where on Scott Loomis, let's talk about just briefly so we understand how that works with the Mountain Man. He goes out and builds affordable apartments and people can qualify for government programs. And then we assist Scott with providing some of this money to help build that program.
we haven't done much assistance on that side. The one down that they're still trying to get approved down by off of Southfield Road.
They have an access problem with that piece of property.
Yeah, they're working on it, but we will contribute some to that. We contributed some to the one out north of town, what are they called?
Elmbridge.
Yeah, Elmbridge. We contributed some, we were partnered with that, and I'll explain why.
But we got it back, though.
Well, we got
did.
that back, we contributed to help that, but we haven't done a lot with Scott's group in the county. In fact, the only one is that with some, but this new one will contribute some help. Probably, I know we'll get it back as it proceeds forward.
He's helping Mike now with his Prestige 2 down by the senior citizens. Scott Loomis is helping.
The new one at the Prestige.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say, so go down to the projects, and any other questions on the loan side of it?
Who administers, do you guys have a financial person, or is it the whole board that goes through the financials and makes you make the decisions, but who does the?
On the loans?
Everything,
Well, okay. let me answer-
financially,
let me
everything's
answer- Let
financial.
me answer the loans. Yeah, the loans, of course, they make application to Mr. Bradshaw's office. He's our director there. And they go through it, and then at a board meeting, he'll present the financials, all of the numbers and whatnot. We'll look at it. And there have been occasions we've turned it down. We had one here a while ago. We said, for that amount of money, we want that person to have a cosigner. And so they went out and they came back the next month with a cosigner, and then we approved it.
The board does it.
So the board makes the decision,
Yes.
and then someone does the clerical,
Well, Jeff does all
administrative.
Bradshaw being the
So the
CPA, he
president
does that.
himself is doing the administration
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
But we
he
approved
does
the
that.
loans.
All right.
Okay, projects. Right now, we did Prestige 1. That's the development behind the Abington there by the thing.
Kendall, we had a hard time filling that, by the way. I mean, it was really tough, and then all of a sudden, man, it just
Yeah.
blossomed.
That was a tax credit project. We didn't have the expertise to do a tax credit project. That's pretty sophisticated stuff. They needed some assistance, some other backing on the Elmbridge. We needed assistance on the Prestige 1 tax credit. So we partnered with Scott Lewis and his group. They were doing the financing, most of it on Elmbridge. So we partnered with them. We put some money in, which as they failed and completed, we got back. And he partnered with us and helped us get through the tax credit on Prestige 1.
We got the money back on that.
We did, in fact, as Rick mentioned, the real challenge we had there, because it was a tax credit project, we had a real tight window. They couldn't make too much, they couldn't make too little. And we had to have it filled by a certain date, and Rick was even going around his neighborhood trying to get the widows in his neighborhood to sign up so we could fill out, not everybody.
Yeah, man,
It was pretty tight. But we came in and there was some real question whether, you know, I think the board felt good about it all along, but it was nip and tuck right to the end. But since it's been filled and we qualified, it's been full ever since. It's worked out to be very good. The Prestige 2 that we're involved in right now, and it's right next to it, you go down there, it's just to the south, right next to it. It's a little bit bigger. It's got 33 units. Prestige 1 was designated as a senior housing project for our seniors, and it's provided a real need there. Prestige 2 is not designated that tight. It's senior, but other people can qualify too. We don't have the same qualification window that we had with Prestige 1. It's not a tax credit project. We're going after other lenders. Shows here that we put in $1,141,094. That's kind of a construction loan. And once the construction loan, once that finishes, depending on how Billy works on that, then they'll get the permanent loan, and we'll get a good portion of that. I'm not sure the exact amount of that back. And then as it goes along, we get a check every month from Prestige 1, our share back on that one. We have a management company that's managing Prestige 1, and I don't know that we determined whether they'll do Prestige 2 for us or not. So they've done a very good job for us. So that's the Prestige project that we're involved in right now.
So I've got a question on that. And I don't want to sound confrontational or anything, I'm just curious about, so I can understand. I'm just saying this in a good way. I'm not saying that I would go out and do it, but, you know, where Scott Willis has done this work, is there any reason going forward that I would be allowed to be able to do exactly what he's doing? Would you see a conflict there?
Probably not. I mean, he's not as the developer, all he's making, he's not the developer per se. The only money he would be making out of that is his time, and he helps us with the financing, securing the financing. He's not being paid as a developer for the property. We bought the property from,
I would say yes, it's a conflict.
For me, it would be a conflict.
Because you're helping make the determination on the amount of the fee, how much money we collect, and then you would go out and then build or benefit financially from the project.
Right.
So that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's right.
But he's only benefiting our school, right? So he's,
well, yeah, he's earning money for his agency, well, I guess, yeah, Mountain Man, for the consulting that he's doing to help us secure those loans and that, because he understands that side, he has connections to that part.
So it's kind of different than what you're saying. I can see the conflict if I were to go out and do it, make a decision here for affordable housing and say, hey, I want to take that money and go build a project,
Yeah.
make a profit. I can see that and I agree. So with Scott, you don't see that, that's not his role. He doesn't make any money off of building the project.
Not this one, and I don't know, and I talked to Jeff about the one down here, if that one goes through. They're having a real challenge, they're getting the secondary access out of that piece, because it's over in that corner, it goes to a point, and the fire sand, and obviously, I mean, I agree with that,
So-
they need a second access.
If he's making recommendations to us and helping us set policy, and then he receives any kind of payment based on what gets built and what gets done, there's a potential conflict there. And we just want to keep ourselves out of
Yeah.
the line of fire.
If he's making any kind of money off it other than what we paid, there's a conflict.
That's
Yeah,
a
agreed.
certainly potential
And I
conflict.
asked Jeff, I said, is there any evidence that he's getting extra money for that project?
Well, any money.
Well, whether
Not
it's
just-
salary, working for Mountain Man as he develops it, that's part of their mission.
Well, I guess that's my point. Then if he's developing it and he's mountain land, then that's a potential conflict, and we need to keep the county out of that situation.
So I could pay myself a salary and not make a profit. Same thing.
Yeah,
It's a tricky thing. I don't think.
It is a
we
tricky thing,
gotta-
and I've talked to some others that say, yeah, there is a conflict there. And the point is, as Doug said it, if we're not gonna go that route, if we feel there's a conflict there, then we're gonna have to either hire somebody in Doug's office to do what we're contracting with him to do. So send a developer to him and say, here's our code, which he's not setting, he's given us input on it, but here's our code. So a developer comes and says and we take money from the developer up front to pay that fee to have Scott do that. And he looks and he says, okay, here's the Wasatch County Code, here's your development. Within their code, this is what you can do. As we talked about that, and we talked about the possible conflict, we determined, and whether that changes or not, that instead of him making that recommendation to the council, he would make it to the Affordable Housing Board. And then we would pass it on. It would still have to be approved by this council. That's kind of a middleman there. There's, I guess, the attorneys will have to look at that. There possibly could be even a conflict at that point, but he's not, you know.
Mr. Davis.
One of the potential conflicts is the determination of what the affordable housing is going to be paid with.
Yeah.
If a person in that position were making the decision that you need to build units, and I'll manage those units, that's a huge difference between you need to pay the Affordable Housing Board this much per ERU, and then the Affordable Housing Board will make a determination on how that's done.
And they would send a recommendation, as a housing board, this is what we would recommend. This board then decides, yes, we'll accept that or no.
But that's my point, is who's going to make that decision is really where the conflict falls. Because if the person that's working with the developers says, you know, you need to build 30 affordable housing units based on some criteria, okay?
In our code.
And by the way, I'm going to run those. I don't know how you get past that.
Yeah.
Well, I think in that
I don't care
scenario,
whose group it goes to first. That one's a conflict.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess the point, I don't care if it's Scott or not, if we determine there's that problem, then we need to go a different direction. But what Doug's saying is that he needs somebody in his office to do that work, that understands it and can make that for the county.
But we're talking about different things.
Yeah.
We're talking
totally.
about a clerical duty versus an administrative duty.
Yeah.
And if the person who's doing the work with the developers is doing administrative duty, is making the determination whether it's homes or fee in lieu or what it is, that is totally different than taking an evaluation of the county code and saying, okay, you want to build this many units, you have this much affordable housing you have to direct, and then go to the council and see what they say.
Yeah.
That's a very different scenario.
I don't think we have him managing any of those in our, I mean, there's none come along yet. But I don't think the proposal was that you would manage those units in Jordanelle.
No, but he told them that they were to build those units in Jordanelle, not you. And that is the conflict.
Well, he got a little, I think, didn't we have to pull him back some on that guy?
Well, that's
I
why.
agree with what you're saying totally. We got it set in stone, this is what you can do, and then.
Yeah, we've still yet to go through, we want to go through in a different meeting, go through the statute, go through the things that we want to require. Maybe the whole affordable housing budget doesn't come just from a developer. The plan may have several elements. In fact, in the statute, we went over it, there's a few different elements to it.
And at some point, I'd like for John to comment on that as far as what is required by the state and how do we come up with the fee in lieu. I'm not finding anything really where that comes from the state.
Well, also,
It was
I
the study that we
have
need
that
to
one.
talk about.
I found a comment at the bottom of the list, that same list of these things you can do to meet your deal, and there was a comment that I interpreted as potential.
What we have is, we have 6 options, I think, in the mandate, but we've been relying on one that I haven't seen in the mandate, so it'd be good to talk about that.
Well, I guess I question whether we've just been relying on one. I think we've done some other things.
Well, I think the county made a determination to go a certain way based on the statute. Whether we want to still do it the same way is subject to discussion and vote and action, I would say.
Well, no, absolutely, we need to do it right.
We have a couple here. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. You made reference to mountain lands, and can you please explain the structure between Mountain Land Association of Governments and Mountain Lands Affordable Housing Trust?
Mountain Land Association of Government is an agency, I don't remember the date, but the state of Utah created 7 of those around the
Yep,
state.
and there's three counties involved.
Mountain Land represents Utah, Wasatch, and Summit County. Many government contracts like CDBG money go through Mountain Land, and they administer those. Transportation studies, I mean, we had a report from, that's Mountain Land. Mountain Land.
Well, Scott Loomis's group,
Scott Loomis's group is not associated with Mountain
no,
Land.
you call them an agency, and I think that's not an agency.
Well,
It's a,
No, there are times when I've had to go, okay, I need to make sure I've got this straight. You're right, it's confusing sometimes. You hear mountain lands and you just think of MAG, if you're not.
but my question is the structure and what kind of business does he do? And we've had some dealings with him, and they've been fine. But it seems like he is a single source of expertise
Well,
in many different levels. So
he's kind
to
of-
find the same person that understands all aspects like Scott does, if you find a conflict with him, finding another person that has that same expertise to bring in to help Doug is very difficult, because not many people do that in the state.
No, and I agree with you, and I think what my intent was is to hire him to help us come up with our criteria, but to have him then have anything to do with the administration or the building is where the conflict comes in.
And we've not
But-
been in
but-
no direction that way,
But
have we, Doug?
it's tough to find somebody else to do it.
Yeah, we sent out an RFP initially to write to the code, and
No, that's what I just said,
Yeah,
and
you
he
can't
and he was
find anybody.
successful and we paid him to do that.
yeah.
But he then can't come on the backside and benefit financially from that.
No, I'm just saying you
The
can't find
requirements
people
that
that
he
you
recommended.
understand that.
Had he known that, he probably wouldn't have bid on the contract, because he makes his money developing housing
Well, but
in Summit County.
So then
again,
it's back on us to come up with our own criteria, and if he wants to participate on the other side, then he can.
Again, I see a difference. He's not, and if there's a conflict, fine, there is, we don't need to do it, but he's not making money on his projects the same as a developer that buys the property. He's making the money for the agency, he's paid his salary to do
For what
that.
agency?
Mountain Land Housing Trust.
Is that a
Is that an
private
agency or his own company?
That's his company.
It was put together, I don't know whether he was the.
That's what you have to find out, though.
Is that a subsidiary of MAG, or is it?
No,
a
it's
separate
not to do with MAG.
No, it's not.
They just.
I think that's what Bob was asking.
Or is it a
It's-
private company?
I know that it's
Well,
not.
it's a tax,
Oh, you thought it was a
I just wanted you to understand what it is.
agency to help promote and develop affordable housing in Park City. They represented Park City and they represented Summit County, and to work with theirs. So I remember one of the very first interlocal meetings I attended when I first came on council, was right in this room. Scott Loomis came and made a presentation. He, at that point, was wanting to represent Wasatch County in affordable housing aspects, the same as he does Park City and Summit County. We said, no, we already had the Affordable Housing Board put together, interlocal between the county and the cities, Midway and Peter mainly. So we said, no, but that's what he's done. Now, I think over the years, there's some controversy, some question whether he's represented in the way they want him to, but you're exactly right. He's pretty exclusive in what he does.
There may be one
I
or two
think
others
he's
that
done
we
a
don't
good job
know.
over the years. He's developed a lot of affordable housing in Summit County and Park City.
I'm not questioning his integrity at all, because I think that's 100%.
Yeah.
It's just that there's some overlap that
Well, and that's where we're looking. We don't want there to be a conflict in that overlap, and I agree 100%. Anyway,
Okay, thank you.
so over the years since 2000.
Oh, you still,
Question, go ahead.
do you want to finish your thing?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still?
I'm trying to move.
Okay, let's go.
Since 2000
Might
to
answer it.
present, we've obtained $6,930,938. That total amount has been paid by developers, fee and lieu.
So our whole affordable housing plan comes strictly from,
Not totally, but that
Development.
amount, that much has come in from developers.
that's the fee and lieu portion.
Yeah.
And where else do we get contributions from?
Well, we'll go
Okay.
through. Self-help loans, in that time, this is the self-help loans, the Brad Bishop program out of Utah County, and it's called, what's this called? So anyway,
But that's not administered by us, that's a separate program, by the housing authority, right?
he's
He does.
a similar type organization, a 501c3 in Utah County, just like Scott Lewis
Okay.
is.
If we pay them, did we pay them the $500,000?
We've loaned them $500,000 in November of 2014.
Where'd that money come from?
That 6 million you looked at about.
Run them out of name, look.
We loaned them and to develop, to get properties to do that. Sometimes well, they have to perhaps they have to have seed money up front to go out and tie up a piece of property. I think they have to be, and I don't totally understand how their deal works, but I think they have to be far enough along in the process to get the money they'll get from the federal government to continue with the project, to get the people that are going to qualify for the program, and then they start getting their money from the HUD and wherever else they get. So they need money up front, and they come to us. We loaned them $500,000. We charged interest. Jeff didn't put that on here, but there was some interest applied to that. They used our money for a period of time till they got the project going, and were able to get their money back, and they paid that off. At the present time, they owe us $300,000. We've extended that because of some delays. It's on the current project, all of that, but to the east of the high school, and they got delayed with city approval and whatnot, so they come and ask for an extension. We charged them additional interest for the extension, but we loaned them that in 2017, September 2017. So currently they owe us a $300,000 loan back.